Welcome to the Richmond Market Insight Forum podcast, where bold ideas, sharp insight and industry leaders come together. Brought to you by your video team.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much
Hi.
for joining me.
Pleasure.
Tell me,
Thank you.
who are you, what your business is and what it does?
Great. Well, my name's Ferdi. I work for Microsoft. I think most people are fortunate enough to have heard of it.
I know that one.
So yeah. Hopefully I don't have to do too much more explaining. We're trying out things in AI. We're a little startup. We're trying to get better.
Just little window thing.
Little Windows thing, little Office thing. Yeah, and my function role at Microsoft is Market Intelligence Lead, which sounds very impressive on paper, but I do just make PowerPoint slides a lot of the time. So
I'm glad to hear you use your own system. What does that do? What do you end up doing with all your PowerPoints?
what I do, well, a lot of that's used in strategy and planning. It's really where it's gets landed with our business leaders. And so my function as part of market intelligence is to help make sense of the external world.
Okay.
So everything that's happening outside of Microsoft and how that impacts our customers, how that impacts their ability to do business, and how that impacts eventually us in terms of how we go to market, with the basis of helping understand the environment in which our customers operate, so we can be better connected to them. We can have empathy, we can understand what they're about, and so that we can help them, talk to them.
And as much as we joked there at the beginning that Microsoft's a little company, obviously it's been around for a few years. It's evolved.
50 years.
50 years, wow, okay, and it's evolved a lot in those 50 years, right? I mean, it's been at points in its journey the forefront and the think tank that's really taken sort of technology forward. Yeah. Your role must be integral in that side of listening to the outside world.
Yes and no. Yes, it's important, and it depends on various leaders, how much they want to lean into that. And so there is a resurgence within our business that market intelligence has become more pivotal to what we do, and understanding our environment is more important to what we do. And so the function that I perform is one that's growing in interest and popularity, I'd say, and keenness, but with that comes quite a big responsibility. So how do you continuously tap into what is relevant, what's important, how do you scale, how do you think about how do you connect the dots in that environment between data and just qualitative research and insight. So it's a big task to keep it relevant and keep it connected to what is happening for leaders and what's happening in our world as well.
Incredible. So how has that led you then to here at Richmond's event today?
Well, this is a learning opportunity for me. We're at a not just as a company, but we're all in a very pivotal point of transformation. AI has become the two letters that everyone's learned how to spell in the last few weeks, months, So that's changing the game, changing the notion, changing the way that we approach insight, approach research, approach understanding data. One, and for me, that pivotal point means I need to learn. I want to learn and see what's happening. So part of my reasoning for coming here today was to meet new agencies, meet new people in the field, meet other customers, other partners, other organizations, to think about and hear from them what they're doing, learn from them, see who's picked up some new ideas, who's trying out some new things, who's tried things and failed, who's tried things and succeeded, and see what I can take back. So to me, it's very much about a learning opportunity, which is why I took the time out to do this.
And there's so many ways to learn here as well, right? So we've had our keynote this morning that opened up.
Excellent.
We've also then got the workshops that are going on, but you've also then got the opportunity for appointments as well. And this isn't
speed dating.
Yeah, like the speed networking, speed dating site, and those aren't just thrown together. There's matchmaking involved as well.
There
right?
is. Well, yes, there is. That was fun. I can reveal
swiping left and right.
Well, I can reveal the secrets. I mean, I got propositioned by about a dozen plus of the vendors here today, which is fantastic. And I think there's a certain allure to having the name Microsoft and having the opportunity to sit in front of Microsoft and talk to Microsoft. Not that I am Microsoft, but
there's a connection,
there's
right?
a connection. But ain't nobody got time for all of that.
No, that you now have to value who you're going back with. And
Yeah. So so I did a bit of work to figure out who I was going to choose as my top three, and then so those are the three people that we get matched up, and we have an opportunity to talk to. 4 if you count lunch, because one of the vendors, obviously, it was fantastic. We had a good conversation, but they definitely wanted to talk to me, and
they booked you for lunch
and
too.
so they booked me for lunch. They put me on their table and they sponsored my lunch, and I'm thankful for that. And it was a good conversation, and again, good opportunity to share and learn. So yeah.
And it's not just about the sales today, is it? It's also about those relationships, that collaboration, and like you've said, ultimately your lesson here today is learning. That's what you're here to take away.
Look, sales is a measure or a testament of a bunch of things you've done. No sale is guaranteed. We know that for ourselves. No sale is guaranteed the next year. You've got to work hard for that, and part of that is building good relationships. So for a lot of people, yeah, that's great. This is a good part to start a relationship, start a conversation. Don't know where that will lead, what that will lead to, but it's a good opportunity to kind of build that conversation and see when the need arises, if that opportunity is something that we can pursue further on.
So I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What's your thoughts on the day? How have you found it? Have you found the value? Have you learnt the lessons you've wanted to learn?
Still early in the day. Look, the morning was really good. I thought the keynote was very insightful, invigorating, a great way to start the morning. So I really loved what we took away from that. Some of the sessions this morning were really good. Just perhaps something from the simplistic of clarifying frameworks and approaches to customer experience to engaging with teams and building a community. So there were things that I could take away from each of the sessions this morning that would be useful in where I'm thinking about what's happening next year in terms of function, role, and that's going to be important. This afternoon we wait and see. I haven't had my speed dating yet. I'm getting ready for it.
And dinner.
And dinner.
It's the best bits, right?
Absolutely. There's drinking as well, so I'm hoping for that. So I'm looking forward to the speed dating. I'm looking forward to the conversations, and just, again, to hear from these vendors and what they do, where they're seeing some of the challenges, how they're seeing the market develop, how they're evolving. That's actually very interesting for me. We live in a world where AI is going to become very, very integrated in how we work. ChatGPT, Copilots, Perplexities. I didn't use our product name first. So.
Not always about us.
It's not always about us. But in that marketplace, how are those tools being integrated into the work that they do? How do they use that to accelerate what they do? How do they use that to validate and bring the human side together with AI? How do they do that in a way that can scale and can provide me as the customer with insights in a better, faster, quicker way than I could do if I was just typing that same question into ChatGPT? What value do you bring to the table? Where do you take your expertise and the vast skills you've learned over the years in terms of building your business? How is that transforming with AI, and how do you bring that to the table that serves me as the customer better? What I'm looking for.
Okay, I think this afternoon I've got their work cut out for them.
It's not an exam, it's no test.
But it's exciting. Like
it's
learning is an exciting part of the process, right? And that helps with that evolution and revolution and things.
Yes.
So I can feel it's about to rain. I'm going to say thank you very much, Ferdi, so much.
Thank you so much.
And
as well.
I look forward to hearing how the rest of your day goes later on.
Thank you for joining us on the Richmond Market Insight Forum podcast, where every conversation sparks new thinking. Brought to you by your video team.